The fashion world just delivered another ruthless message to Meghan Markle, and this time it didn't happen behind palace walls or inside a gossip column. It happened at the door. According to whispers spreading fast through Manhattan's fashion elite, Meghan was stopped and turned away from a high-end runway show this past weekend. This wasn't a calendar error. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was intentional. Security, reportedly acting under firm instructions, pulled her aside and told her directly, "We're sorry, but you're no longer welcome at our events." What was supposed to be a low-key night out quickly turned into something else. Meghan had arrived with a friend, hoping to soak in the buzz of New York Fashion Week and perhaps capture a few polished moments to subtly shift public perception. Instead, she received the clearest message yet. Her presence is now considered a reputational risk. Insiders insist the call didn't come from security guards making a snap decision. It came from the top after quiet conversations between organizers, sponsors, and PR teams. The fear that Meghan's appearance would overshadow the collection and drag the brand into another cycle of headlines. No one wanted to become collateral damage. Witnesses claim Meghan was visibly shaken. First came shock, then what one source described as an emotional unraveling. She allegedly accused the organizers of discrimination, insisting this was yet another example of bias working against her. But insiders close to the event push back on that narrative. They say this wasn't about race. It was about optics. In an industry built on image, timing, and carefully curated partnerships, volatility is expensive. And right now, Meghan is seen as unpredictable, something luxury brands are unwilling to gamble on. The timing couldn't be worse. The Fashion Week incident follows an already turbulent stretch. Rumors are intensifying about a possible IRS review tied to Archwell's financial structure. Former staff members, once silent, are now stepping forward with fresh bullying claims. Internationally, doors appear to be closing as well. Dubai and Saudi Arabia, two regions once rumored to be exploring philanthropic collaborations and lifestyle ventures with the Sussex team, have reportedly stepped back. Neither seems eager to align with what critics describe as another reinvention strategy in progress. This runway rejection feels symbolic, a public marker of how dramatically the tide has shifted. Not long ago, Meghan Markle commanded headlines with precision. Carefully staged appearances, exclusive interviews, personal essays, each move calculated. In 2020, when she and Prince Harry sat across from Oprah Winfrey, the world leaned in. Sympathy poured in from every direction. The British press was framed as relentless. The royal institution appeared distant, even harsh. And Meghan? She stood at the center of it all as the wronged outsider. But here's the twist. Sympathy has a shelf life. And in the world of power, perception changes faster than loyalty. She was once framed as the woman who walked away from power to protect her peace. Canada welcomed them warmly during that chapter, offering a quiet refuge as they stepped back from royal duties. Opportunities poured in. Major brands filled their inbox. Streaming platforms pitched docuseries and podcast deals. Meghan's name was everywhere. Front pages, late-night interviews, long opinion pieces dissecting her next move. It looked like the dawn of something bold. A modern power couple redefining influence beyond palace gates. But momentum is fragile. What began as a triumphant reset slowly started to crack. At first, the shift was subtle. Then it accelerated. Former palace staff came forward with troubling claims. They alleged mistreatment, describing tense meetings, raised voices, public reprimands, impossible standards, and a culture of fear. For someone who spoke passionately about compassion and mental health, the contrast felt jarring. The image and the allegations didn't match, and that disconnect began raising questions. Then came the Netflix docuseries, the highly anticipated project meant to finally tell their side without interruption. Instead of silencing critics, it fueled new ones. Meghan faced backlash for moments viewers interpreted as disrespectful toward the late queen. Audiences pointed out scenes that felt overly polished, almost scripted. Skepticism grew. Supporters who once defended her with conviction began stepping back, quietly at first. Even more damaging were the inconsistencies. Timelines didn't always align. Statements from past interviews contradicted newer claims. Fact-checkers highlighted gaps that were hard to ignore. Meghan pushed back, blaming media distortion, palace leaks, systemic bias. But gradually, The public conversation shifted from sympathy to scrutiny. Online, the tone hardened. Social platforms dissected every clip, every quote. The narrative was no longer controlled, and as public patience thinned, professional doors began closing. Fashion brands grew cautious. It started discreetly, fewer invitations, less prime seating, reduced collaboration buzz. Then insiders began speaking more openly. Stories circulated about tense backstage interactions. Junior stylists allegedly left in tears. Assistants reportedly scolded over minor issues. Expectations that exceeded protocol. One industry source summarized it bluntly: "There's always drama when she arrives." Now even New York, a city built on second acts and reinvention, seems less welcoming. While Meghan reportedly believes she can recalibrate her image once again, those close to Prince Harry suggest he sees the storm forming more clearly. Friends claim he's quietly attempting damage control, reconnecting with old allies, proposing carefully structured interviews designed to soften public perception. But the response has been underwhelming. The interest that once came easily now feels distant. And here's the new twist: the silence might be louder than the criticism. In industries driven by attention, indifference can be the final warning sign. Even reporters who once treated them kindly are reportedly declining interview requests. It's not that Meghan and Harry can't generate headlines. It's that editors aren't willing to frame the story the way they want it framed. The tone has shifted, doubt has settled in too deeply, and beyond the professional fallout, insiders suggest the personal pressure is mounting as well. Sources close to the couple say Harry has grown noticeably distant. He's spending more time alone, taking extended walks, keeping a lower profile. The fiery public defender, who once challenged critics head-on, seems subdued. In his place stands someone more reflective, even conflicted. One insider claims Harry has privately acknowledged how overwhelming life outside the royal structure has become. He believed independence would mean control. Instead, it brought constant exposure without protection. Some describe him as increasingly nostalgic, remembering the purpose he felt in the UK, the clear roles, the inherited identity that once anchored him. There are even whispers that he has discreetly reached out to former palace contacts, not for a grand return, but for guidance, perhaps support. Nothing public, nothing official, just quiet conversations. That possibility alone is telling. After all the declarations about freedom and reinvention, Harry reportedly feels untethered. And if he's questioning the path, where does that leave Meghan? Her brand is under strain. Her marriage, according to those observing closely, is feeling the weight. The polished public image she once curated now competes with a steady stream of narratives she can't fully manage. The industries she aimed to influence, fashion, media, even global advocacy, are proving harder to penetrate than expected. The recent New York rejection only amplified that reality. There was a time when Meghan Markle could enter any venue and instantly become the focal point. Cameras adjusted, conversations paused, invitations multiplied. Now the image is starkly different. Security at the entrance, a polite refusal, a firm "not tonight." So what comes next? Another pivot is always possible. A new documentary, a philanthropic relaunch, a keynote speech designed to reset the conversation. Reinvention has been her strategy before. But here's the emerging twist. The infrastructure that once amplified her voice may have already shifted its attention elsewhere. Media outlets seem less enthusiastic. Luxury brands are cautious. Audiences appear fatigued. And perhaps most quietly significant of all, the man who once relinquished his royal title, his homeland, and long-standing traditions in her defense may no longer be certain how to shield the narrative. Because in the end, the most powerful shift isn't outrage. It's silence. For someone who once shaped global conversations, the deeper crisis may not be criticism, it may be indifference.